My name is Yahola Tiger. I'm the nephew of John Tiger and my grandpa, Yahola Tiger Jr. horse. Well, I grew up in Tahlequah. I know some of you guys have heard of Merle Home Park. Have you all heard of that over there, Park Hill? My grandpa used to live out there, and every summer we'd go out there and we'd mess around in the creek and, get crawdads. Like one, this is kind of a funny story, but we found one crawdad and we tried to boil it in just some tap water, and it was terrible. Yeah, I was like, man, that's bad. So that park out there, there's some trails out there, and so how it goes is the creek, there's a house, and then there's a creek that runs behind it that goes all the way around, that goes back into the middle of nowhere. But to cross into to cross the creek and to get into the actual trails, there's a little bridge there. And growing up, my grandpa always used to tell stories. He'd say, I guess me and my brother heathens, I guess, I don't know, but he'd always tell us these stories, and he'd say, there's this one story I got to tell y'all that, it happened out here at Merle Home Park. And I don't know if it did, it could have. But basically, there's a little boy who used to sneak out at night all the time. Parents, couldn't get a handle on this kid. And so basically one night he went out to Merle Home Park, and he saw a fire out there in the creek. And the creek sometimes would get real dry to where it there would be a like a little bed of rocks. And so he went out there and he saw a little fire, going out there. And so he's, doing what any kid does, like, I'm gonna go explore and we'll see what's going on. And he gets down there and he sees this shadow, but it's a man down there, and he's sitting around this fire. And when he gets down there, and the guy's like, hey, come on over here, I'll tell you some stories, let's hang out for a while, And he gets to talking, and they're just, he's out there for a while, and the fire starts getting real, real low. And the guy goes, man, I guess I better go get some more firewood. Let me go get some more firewood. We'll hang out a little longer. And basically, when the kid noticed, he looked, he's like, that guy's kind of tall. He's 7-8 foot tall. He's like, man. He looks down and he got hooves for feet. Man, I got goosebumps right now. But he looked down and he said, oh my God, what is that? And the guy had a look on his face like, oh, you know what I am. Kid took off running, went home, and he I guess how the story goes is he never snuck out no more after that. But my grandpa and my Uncle John, they always told stories, going all the way back. And I have my own personal stories with I don't call them, I call them LPs. I don't call them, I don't do that. I'm the same with Russell over here, man. I don't call them that. I was at Merle Home Park. It was Earth Day, like back when I was an elementary school kid. After we left the Civic Center in Tahlequah, which I don't even know if it's still there. It used to be the fire department too. I think it was over there. We ended up going to Merle Home Park, and they're like, "Hey kids, go out there and play. Y'all do what you're gonna do." And it was getting kind of late. It was it was kind of right when the winter was like coming. And it wasn't like an actual Earth Day. It was just like a special event Earth Day that they did. So it was getting, it was still kind of getting light, or it was getting kind of dark a little bit earlier. And so we're out there playing tag up in them trails. And if you guys have been out to Merle Home Park, them trails go all the way up. And there's rumors of the people have, committed suicide out there, and, all types of crazy stuff. And, but basically, we're running these trails, and I get tagged in. So as an elementary kid, I'm like, all right, I got to get somebody quick. I don't want to be the last one. So I'm running up and down these trails, and I finally see a shadow kind of over here by this building up kind of the way, like on the curve of the trail. And I'm running like hard, as fast as I can, and I get this close, and I go to grab him, and gone. So I end up kind of like, man, where's everybody at? So I went out there, and I guess they had been hollering my name for a while. They was wondering where I was at. They was like, man, you've been gone for an hour. And that's what my grandpa always said. That's what they do. Kids, they kind of distract you a little bit, and they take you off over here, and you're chasing over here because you think it's your buddy or whatever. But yeah, Merle Park was a big part of my childhood, and growing up out there's a lot of creepy stuff, and kind of, I'd be up here for hours, guys. I'll tell all types of stories. I got another one. I had you guys know Louis Jackson. He was he was over at Sequoia for a lot of years, and he was my grandpa's best friend. And I'll tell you 2 of his stories, and I'll get out of here. When he was growing up, he used to live out in the middle of nowhere, and one day he thought he heard something kind of happening outside, like some noises, weird noises, and he had kind of looked out the window, and he saw this monkey with wings on his back, like Wizard of Oz. Man, he saw that, and he goes, "What?" And it just kind of hopped off, just went away. But and the last one I'll tell, he went over. So he had a relative of his that and this is one of his stories that he told, and I can't tell it the way he did, but basically he went over to his family member was dating a girl from Haskell, and I guess anybody went to Haskell up in Kansas, and basically he went home. His cousin went home with this girl, and they're all normal, Indian girl, real pretty Indian girl, just normal, just acting normal, and they all went to bed kind of early, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll go to bed too." So he ended up going to bed real early, and he woke up and he saw like a light outside the window, and he peeked, and he said, when he peeked out there, he said there was a big fire and there was 4 wolves dancing around the fire. I'm done now. Good job.